Guardians get back on track with a win over the Nats yesterday to conclude
yeah.
that series. They win it 3-2. Travis Bazzana, another big game. We'll get to him next hour. 2 extra base hits, and he was robbed of a home run by James Wood. But right now we're talking about Gavin Williams. He pitched a great game yesterday. 7 one-run innings, just 3 hits and 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, which is a very low total for him. But only, like I said, only 5 base runners. He had a little stretch there, end of April. Yeah, end of April, early May, where he had 3 bad starts in 3 out of 4 starts where he didn't pitch well. But outside of those 3 starts, he's been phenomenal all season. You see the numbers: a 3.07 ERA, 88 strikeouts in 76 innings, a 109 WHIP, which is very good. Do you, Zach, have faith in Gavin Williams as the ace? Now, Parker Messick, let's be fair, has actually pitched better.
Yeah.
But Gavin Williams has the longer track record. Do you have faith in Gavin Williams as the ace of the Guardians?
Yeah, I go back 11, 12 months, and you're seeing a different guy. He's growing up. Right?
Yep.
And, yeah, there were a couple rough starts. Everybody's going to have it. I'm not saying he's going to win a Cy Young. I'm not saying he's going to win 25 games, but I have full faith. I like the development. The strikeouts are there. The confidence is there. The team needed a win yesterday. They needed that performance. He delivered it. It's not the first time he's done it.
Mike.
He has the pedigree, too. I mean, he's a former first-round pick, highly, highly regarded. He's had ups and downs throughout the early parts of his career, but this season he's kind of putting it all together in a way we hadn't seen in a sustained basis from him. This season he's second in Major League Baseball in innings, second in strikeouts. He's top 12 in both ERA and WHIP. He leads Major League Baseball with 8 wins now. Outside of those 2 bad starts, he's been basically an ace the entirety of the season, including a couple games where he has single-handedly won it for Cleveland. The amount of pitchers this year that have gone 7 innings or more, allowing 1 run or fewer and 5 or more strikeouts. Gavin Williams has 5. That is more than anyone else in baseball. It's hard to argue with some of the statistical evidence that he's putting up. That in any kind of series, no matter who you're playing, you wouldn't feel good with Gavin on the mound going up against another team's ace.
Well, it's only May. It's not September or October.
Sure.
But if today was a one, and it's a much-needed day off today. But if it was a one, gotta-have-it game, would you feel confident about Gavin Williams giving you 6 innings? Because I would.
100%. He is the ace, even though, Messick has pitched a little better overall. It's close enough, and he has the track record. He has the pedigree, as you say. I have 100% faith in this guy. It doesn't mean he wouldn't, he couldn't pitch a bad game in a big spot. He might.
It happens.
But I got a lot of faith in him right now. I mean, you go back to the All-Star break last year, he's been one of the best pitchers in the baseball. We're talking almost a full year at this point to go back to the All-Star break. We're almost at 60 games. So, we're 3 weeks from the halfway point of the season. So it's early, but it's not that early.
No.
And he's been tremendous. That stat I didn't know. That's a great one. Because you go 7 innings. I mean, first of all, nowadays, you go 7 innings, period. Even giving up 2-3 runs.
It's a good game, yeah.
But, the fact that he's up there in innings, and what I was really impressed with yesterday watching the game is that I didn't even think he had his best stuff yesterday. Because when he's at his best, he's getting a lot of strikeouts. But the best pitchers, when they're not at their best, find ways to get it done. And that's what he did. He's becoming more of a pitcher. He's learning. You're right. We've seen progression. We used to see him nibble. I feel like in the past he was so obsessed with getting the strikeouts that it would cause him to try to nibble too much in big spots, and that would bring up his pitch count, and then all of a sudden he'd be out after 5 innings. And we're just not seeing that this year for the most part. Everybody's going to have a few bad starts here and there, but he has just been, outside of 3 games this season, absolutely lights out. I expect the Guardians to win when he takes them out. I think they're going to win 3 out of every 4 games he pitches, and that's basically what they've done.
And next time we see him, I think it's in Yankee Stadium.
That'll be great.
Yeah,
that'll be great. Yeah.
What you said about when Gavin goes out there, you feel good about winning?
Yeah.
That's what the ace is supposed to be.
That's right.
That is exactly the definition of what an ace is supposed to be in today's day and age of Major League Baseball. When that guy's on the mound, I don't care who's on the other dugout. I don't care who he's facing. We have a chance to win. And between Gavin Williams and Parker Messick this year, you have 2 different guys that when they're on the mound, you feel really good about the Guardians' chances.
The numbers are staggeringly good, but outside the numbers, they needed a win yesterday, and they needed some distance, right?
Yeah.
The bullpen needs today off.
Absolutely.
They needed mostly a rest yesterday. Gavin Williams delivered it.
I saw a crazy stat, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you know it's been 28 straight series since the Guardians have been swept? It's the longest streak in baseball.
I did not know that. That's a good
Tom
stat.
Withers
I like
tweeted
that.
it out, so shout out to Tom. But 28 straight series the Guardians have not been swept.
That's great. They're 8 games over 500. Their season high is 9 games over 500. They can get there with a win against Boston. It's an interesting stretch.
Tomorrow's game's on KYC, by the way.
All right, we're back on KYC tomorrow. Make sure you watch that game. There you go. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. The Red Sox have been terrible.
Yep.
But then you go to Yankees. They're playing the Yankees twice. Road first, then home the following week. So you got 2 big series with the Yankees coming up. But then they play the Red Sox, who you thought would be good but have been terrible. They're playing the Rangers, who I thought would be good. They've been terrible.
The Tigers.
You got the Astros and Tigers, who were supposed to be good. The Tigers, and I think they play the Astros right after that. Then maybe the White Sox. But listen, at this point, and I don't believe in jinxes, don't get mad at me when I say this, I'll be stunned if the Guardians don't win the division. Not only are they a better team than I thought they'd be, and part of that is because they've showed faith in their top hitting prospects, and it's paid off. Because Chase DeLauder, and he got knocked in a run yesterday, and I know he's been a little, he's been cool.
He's been up and down.
You got to remember,
he's young.
Baseball play, even the best baseball players, nobody stays hot for the whole season.
Look at José this year.
Right, he's been like just above average, especially for him. And Travis Bazzana has been absolutely phenomenal. After like the first week, he didn't do much, but since then he's been absolutely phenomenal. And he'll cool off. He's going to cool off. It's going to happen. But they've showed faith in these young guys. The lineup is deeper than it's been in years. The pitching staff is good. The bullpen's good. Cade Smith. There were people saying he should go to the minors in April. Do we remember that?
He leads Major League Baseball in saves now.
He's outside of Mason Miller, he's the best closer in baseball. He's in my opinion, he's the second best closer in baseball. And so they're in great shape there. The setup guys are kind of rounding into form. I still think I'd like to see them go get a bullpen arm at some point. But this team is clearly the best team in this division. The Tigers and Royals are awful. One of those teams is going to have to play incredible baseball in the final 100 games. Certainly possible. Tigers are capable if they get Scoopable back, but I don't see it. The 2 closest teams to them in the standings are the White Sox and the Twins, and neither one is legit.
They stink.
Yeah.
The White Sox don't stink.
They stink.
They don't stink.
They smell.
No, they don't. They're an improved team that I thought would be a 75-win team. I think they're a below-average team, but they're not going to compete for the division. The Twins stink. The Twins stink and have no business being only 2 games
It's
under.
jarring to see Detroit 22-34. I mean, you know it, right? But it's still jarring.
Well, think about last September, right? Didn't they finish the year like 4-20 or something like that? So I don't know the exact stats at the end, but they're basically like 26-50. They've lost like 55 of their last 80 games.
No doubt. It's jarring, but more importantly, the AL as a whole is up for grabs.
Completely.
There's good teams.
Yes.
There's a lot of bad teams.
Yes.
Detroit's not the only disappointing team, and it's as open as it's been. So
the Yankees are the favorites because they're the Yankees, and they have the big payroll, and they're willing to spend because the 2 other best teams don't spend, the Rays and the Guardians.
Yeah.
Nobody else is really any good. I don't know. I mean, I thought Toronto would be good, and I think they'll make a run in the second half, but they've got so many injuries. The Guardians not only good, they're healthy.
They're really healthy.
The only guy on the injured list is Sobrowski, who just went on, and Gabriel Arias, who they don't need.
Right.
I think Gabriel Arias is never playing for the Guardians again.
Rocchio's playing at an all-star level, and Bazzana looks like one of the best second basemen in baseball right now. There's no spot for Arias
The funny thing is, outside of catcher, there's no clear need offensively, and yet I would still trade for a bat. Even if it's a utility, like a good hitting utility guy that could bounce around and fill in every spot, I would do it.
Like an upgrade to Schneemann? Is that the kind of position?
A veteran who's like...
Because Schneemann's been pretty good this year.
He's been pretty good, but I just don't try. I'm fine with keeping him on the team, but I'd get a better guy than him.
Let's see how healthy they are in 3 weeks. And
That's
again,
true. We know Chase DeLauder's injury history, and but Rhys Hoskins has been solid in his role, not spectacular, but solid. Manzardo is picking it up.
Yep.
We're still waiting for Quan to pick it up, but you're not going to replace him, I don't think, in the lineup. Obviously, Rocchio's been good. Martinez has been good. We talked about the rookies. And Jose, you look at his traditional numbers, they're fantastic. His OPS is down because his batting average is very low right now. But I'd be surprised if he doesn't pick it up. I mean, for him, that's a bad OPS. For an average major leaguer, for any major leaguer, it's only slightly above average. So he's going to pick that up.
731 was the league average as of this morning.
Yeah,
so it's just slightly above.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, like I said yesterday, I like where this team's at. I'd like to see them be aggressive at the trade deadline. They haven't been in recent years. I think the fact they've spent no money recently, and the fact that what's attendance been? I haven't really paid attention to that. Has attendance been good?
I'm not sure, but I'm going Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, yeah, let's check on that because sometimes when the crowds pick up, maybe they'll be willing to spend. We'll see. I'm not asking them to break the bank, but they got to spend a little money. There's some tweaks that if you really want to win, like, because as you said, the American League is wide open.
The
Guardians can get to the World Series. Yep. They might even be able to get there as is if they stay healthy, but a couple of tweaks. One more bat, one more starter. And again, I'm not saying superstar. I'm not saying, I'd love for them to trade for Mike Trout, but one more good solid bat, one more mid to late rotation starter, and one more decent bullpen arm. At least get 2 of those 3, and now we're really talking.
Is Trout even remotely realistic? Like a trade for Mike Trout?
Probably not, because I like him getting traded. Period, or to the Guardians.
To the Guardians.
To the Guardians, probably not. I mean, I can't remember what his contract is, but
it's big. I know that.
The guy's still great when he's healthy. If they got him, forget about it. They would be the favorites to win it all.
What would it take?
American League, at least.
What would it take to get Mike Trout?
Coming up with a trade for Mike Trout is impossible because they're going to want superstar return. But I would do it. I mean, if I'm the Guardians, I'm not trading Bazzana and I'm not trading DeLauder.
But Velasquez.
But I trade anybody in the minors. Anybody to get him. Anybody. There's nobody in the minors I would say no to. Not a single player.
Velasquez.
No. Quan has no value.
No value. Okay.
None.
Not
Zero.
to the Angels. Certainly not to the Angels.
Yeah, not to the Angels.
So just be
They would want to raid your young guys to even get in the door.
Right. Quan could have value to a good team if you were a seller, but minimal value. To a team like the Angels, he has no value.
So it would have to be Velasquez, Lavalette, their first-round pick last year.
The Guardians don't have a trade package to get him.
Okay.
They're not going to take up salary.
I'm trying to talk myself into it.
They would have to trade, if I'm being realistic, they would have to trade DeLauder or Bazzana. They're not going to do that. And as much as I love Trout, I wouldn't do that. I'm not trading those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not realistic. Unfortunately, I think the team in the American League that has the best chance to get him is the Yankees. But I don't even know that they have the prospects to get him. I think if Trout gets traded, it's going to be to the National League. As you see, Guardians, Red Sox tomorrow, right here on WKYC. Coverage begins at 7 p.m.